few clips from the film that I was going to show you, but I thought I'd stop first right now and answer any questions that you might have. Yes?
So during the production of this movie, have you ever experienced opposition or harassment from the mainland China?
No.
No? They were just...
No. In fact, what's been an interesting experience has been watching mainland Chinese reaction to the film. I've spoken to several mainlanders who have seen the film at film festivals, and they really like it. And it's been interesting because they don't get to hear this history. They don't really know this history. And from their perspective, they also were taught Chiang Kai-shek was a bad person. so from their perspective, it doesn't really affect them. You know, this is a different way to look at Taiwan democracy, and I think that that's really critical because that's a critical point to understand. Because I think this is a highly misunderstood issue, the issue of Taiwan democracy and independence, and the reasons for it and why it came. And that's why a lot of people ask, well, why did you set the film now in today's world? I was like, in order for you to understand today's problems, you have to understand the past. And that's why it's critical that we took this particular time period and these particular events to make it so. So actually, our so far, anyways, the Chinese reaction has been really good. Yes?
Yeah, $6 million is a real tiny budget. And do you have to pay those famous directors, editors, etc.? Do you have to pay them?
I think there's a lot of people in this room who would think $6 million is a lot of money. But you're right in that it's not a lot of money to make a movie. Every actor in this picture, every person who worked on this picture took massive pay cuts. James told me, frankly, he's like, I've never worked for this little. But they all said the same thing, which was they believed in this movie. And I think, you know, this is why actors do independent films, is because they get to tell stories like this that you can't tell on a studio level. I never once imagined that Universal or DreamWorks or Sony or Warner Brothers was going to pick up this movie. I never thought that. I always knew we would have to do this ourselves if we want to tell the story. So basically, the answer to your question is yes. They did it for what they had. Yes. That is the $20 million question that always gets asked. And the question is, we don't know yet. The answer is we don't know yet. Screen Media has picked up worldwide distribution rights. And so they will be selling the international rights. They are going to be at the Berlin Film Festival, which is part of the European film market, in a few weeks, to start selling international territories. We've already had strong interest from England, from France, from a number of Latin American countries, from a number of other Asian countries. Taiwan, of course, is a very particular case because of the subject matter. We are in negotiations with several distributors right now in Taiwan. Yes?
Do you mind if I ask two separate questions?
Please.
The first one is the two sort of sides to the story still coexist in Taiwan right now. How do you see sort of their relationship changing or evolving as the story is told to more people? And two, I was wondering if you have thought of working with the Tourism Bureau in Taiwan to use this as sort of a way to promote tourism in Taiwan? Just curious.
The answer to your first question is very difficult. I can't, I can't divine the future, and anybody who tells you they can is full of yes. But what we hope this film will do is heal some wounds in Taiwan's still developing democracy. Taiwan, unlike South Africa, has never had a Truth and Reconciliation Council. It never had like the Stalinist tribunals where Stalin's crimes were. They never really went through this period where there was official apologies or official, even recognition and responsibility for the things that happened during this period. And so we hope that the film will help heal some of those wounds. How that will play out, it's hard to say. In terms of the tourism bureau, that's a hard question to answer. Once again, we didn't shoot the film in Taiwan. It wasn't really meant to be a postcard to Taiwan. You know, it was meant to be a, like I said, first and foremost, an entertaining story, but one that we hoped would shine a light on this part of the world for people who don't really know it. And so we hope that more people will, and almost universally, that's what happens after they see the movie, is that they go on Wikipedia and they go and research this. And I've always said, you know, many of my financiers, of course, are hoping that the film does have some type of effect on either politics in Taiwan or the politics here in the United States towards Taiwan. But I always said, my job as the filmmaker was to make the spotlight. It's your job to take it from there. You know, I feel like I did my job. So my job is to create the spotlight. We are creating the promotional campaign. More people will know about Taiwan-U.S.-China relations because of this movie than probably anything that's come before it. So this is your opportunity to use this for whatever you feel or you deem is right. And I always say, in Taiwan, there, of course, there's the green and the blue, those more for pro-independence, those more for pro-reunification. And I always say, this is neither a green or a blue movie, it's a purple movie. It's a movie, it's an American movie, first and foremost. The Westerners' take on Taiwan. That's why today's talk is entitled Formosa Betrayed, a Hollywood take on Taiwan. Because this is not meant, once again, necessarily to be for Taiwanese audiences. This is meant for global audiences.
Is this choose or based on this history or you about fiction?
As I said at the beginning, this is inspired by actual events. So the characters are fictional, but it's inspired by the actual historical
But they use
events.
a Hollywood take, so that's everybody can explain Hollywood.
I'm sorry, I can't hear
Have Hollywood view, then the story Hollywood view could be very different than the reality.
Absolutely. I mean, in this case, it's called historical fiction. That's typically this genre of picture. And like the movies I mentioned, Killing Fields, Last King of Scotland, Hotel Rwanda, even Schindler's List, those are all considered historical fiction. And so we're definitely in that genre. Yes.
Can I ask you sort of personal question?
Depends how personal.
Like you mentioned that there are hundreds of missiles in Taiwan, but you don't live in Taiwan, so I want to know what kind of pressure you feel.
I'm sorry?
So what kind of pressure you feel?
I feel a tremendous amount of pressure because I'm American. And as an American, we're on the hook to defend Taiwan. So I feel tremendous pressure. I feel tremendous responsibility to inform other Americans about this issue. So I feel tremendous pressure, if that's the answer. Yes?
I like Taiwan's nickname, Formosa, very much. On the other hand, Taiwan is known by most people as Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to take that into consideration when you promote this film.
Well, actually, the very first card on the movie, when the movie opens, we have a little explanation. It says, Portuguese sailors called it Formosa, or beautiful island. Since World War II, it's been known as the Republic of China, but most Westerners know it as Taiwan.